Welcome to A Warm Embrace, your go to destination for all things motivation. I'm your host, Guillermo Lopez, and I'm thrilled to embark on this journey with you to explore the endless possibilities of self improvement, personal growth, and achieving your dreams. Today, I'm being joined by Lori Balue. Lori Balue is a functional diagnostic nutritional practitioner and an ADAPT certified functional health coach who is helping women over 50 to lose their weight for good and to reclaim the second half of their life to live pain free, active, and reverse age beautifully. She is on a mission to empower women to choose health as their wealth over being stuck sick and overweight as they age. She is the creator of the holistic low carb method, her signature weight loss and diabetes solution, and has been a featured speaker multiple times at the Whole Wheatery, a natural food store in Lancaster, California, on ketogenic diets. She has been on several podcasts and is an inspiring motivational speaker on aging beautifully and adventurously for longevity with a holistic, low carb lifestyle. Thank you so much, Lori, for joining us.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me here. I appreciate it. It's really cool to be able to get this message out to other women.
Our pleasure. And I think, and even though your mission is for women, I think that it serves both genders because I think it's a beautiful way to live healthy and holistically. And I love that for you. So thank you very much, Lori. And as a reminder to our new guests and to our new audience members who have been gracious enough to join us, let me go ahead and offer a bit of context of what a warm embrace means. It's about cultivating an environment where individuals are not only acknowledged, but truly valued, understood, and embraced. We've built an ecosystem focused on ensuring that everyone feels seen, heard, and loved. And it's this guiding principle that extends across various dimensions of life: the personal, the professional, the emotional, and the spiritual. We're genuinely delighted to have you, Lori, and we're excited to learn more from and about your unique perspectives and insights. So without further delay, are you ready to embark on this enriching journey with us?
I am ready. It's just so, and this coming on live like this always energizes me because it's so powerful to be able to talk to other people. And even though I'm maybe not face to face to someone, just the energy that is created through inspiration is amazing.
I agree. That's why I love having guests on our show because at the end of the day, there's always so much to learn. And that transfer of energy is always just a beautiful thing to be able to witness, even across an internet connection, right?
Definitely. It really does. I feel it all the time. If I were to just go on an Instagram live, I actually feel energized. But if I just talk to my video screen, it's just not the same.
That connection is always
Mhm.
there. It's almost how what they say when you answer the phone and you put on a smile, the person on the other end of the phone call can hear that smile. They can hear that connection.
I actually saw something or a study that said that girls that actually just text their mom or mom and girls texting, that girls don't get the energy. They don't get that positivity feeling of support. But if it's on a phone call, it's different. You actually feel it and you're actually more in tune and create more oxytocin and actually feel more connected. So that's a really powerful. I mean, just hearing that study.
Well, that's an interesting study. I never had thought about it because at the end of the day, I'm more of a person who likes to speak one-on-one, or I like to speak over the phone or in person. I enjoy it more than the texting. And I think it goes back to the connection that we were speaking about because at the end
Right.
of the day, things get lost in translation, if you will. And
They really do. They really do. Just that connection through the voice makes a really powerful connection. I believe it for sure.
yes. Well, great. Thank you very much again for being here. So let's dive in. So today
Okay.
we'll be talking about navigating determination. It's about cultivating tenacity, persistence, and pursuit of goals. And considering your personal and professional background, why don't you start off by telling our audience what the theme means to you?
So, what that means to me is that, and the journey that I've created, is that you could actually accomplish anything you want to accomplish if you actually just decide to do it. Put yourself in action, make a few changes here and there, and then just know that you're just going to fine tune it and that you're heading for a goal. But it's also to stay excited. So if you create this goal and create excitement to have results and not look at it as a chore, but as something as an opportunity, you can actually get further in your goals and actions and create the lifestyle you want to live by being excited about it and learning how to do it and making it I always like to use the term term health adventure. So like if you want to be healthy, look at this as an adventure and what can you do to create a healthier body? Because I didn't do it overnight. I had to learn how to do it. But I also just stayed determined. As a young girl, I had a goal to be healthy and to look pretty in a pair of jeans and just a white t-shirt. I just wanted to feel good in my body. And it took me till I was 55 before that could happen. 55, almost 60, because I was 60 when I had a photo shoot and it was my best pictures that I've ever had. And I'd actually lost 100 pounds. And it's just like, I never let go of that goal. I just kept at it. And I knew there was something that I could do that's going to get me there. And I just kept at it. And there were days that were easier than others. And, I had to figure it out.
That's beautiful. And I love the fact that you said the excitement. I was recently on a call with my coach, and one of the things that he asked me to think about is when has been a time that you have actually done something that you did not let fear stop you? Or in a different way, he asked, what was something that you did that you in a previous time, in a previous year, in a previous life, if you will, thought that you would never do?
Mm-hmm.
And what was it that you actually did? And what was that? And that was something that really brought it to mind because you also used the word adventure. And I love both the terms excitement and adventure because I did something along those lines. I never thought that I was going to go ahead and be able to jump off of a cliff. And I was in Africa last year and I jumped off of a cliff and it was like this gorge swing. And in my prior life, I didn't think about it. And I really love this message and the fact that I'm speaking to you about it. And the reason that I never thought in a prior life I would be able to do that is because I was 200 plus pounds heavier than I am now.
Mm,
And
very
so
good.
thank you so much. And the reason I think about that is because we let those real life situations hinder us, don't we? And we
Mm-hmm.
start thinking about the things that we can't do, or we say to ourselves, oh, that's not for me. And then when I was able to think about the fact that I was able to do it, I did it with such excitement to the point where I didn't allow any fear to come into my mind. There was just no room for it. And that was something that I really thought about because, of course, when I was going through my own weight loss journey, I didn't have the wherewithal to think, oh, I'm excited about this. It brought up its own emotions. And I guess I didn't give it the opportunity to name itself, or I didn't give it a name. But as you're saying that, I like to think back to my journey that it was exciting. I was seeing changes in me that I hadn't seen before. And when I look at that adventure, it was an adventure. That's something that it just took that one decision. And I very much appreciate you saying that because I could relate. And I'm sure a lot of people in our audience can relate to that because at the end of the day, sometimes we gauge it based on what we are truly experiencing or what we
Mm-hmm.
experienced before. And it creates that change of mindset. It gives us a different looking glass for us to look at that adventure. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now that you've said all of that, if you're just stuck in the house and not doing anything and looking and doing the same old thing, it's never going to make any changes. You got to get yourself out of the house. You got to get movement, but you also need to put yourself in a place where with like-minded individuals, like when I went to the Bulletproof conference and I hung out with other people like-minded and listened to everything. I listened to a 10-year brain cancer survivor who was a body type scientist. And I talked to him afterwards. He took one look at me and he told me not to eat fruit. And what was I doing? I was nibbling on fruit. I was nibbling on trail mix, eating paleo, thinking that was good for me, but it was still too much sugar in my diet. But I got excited. Here's somebody who's surviving brain cancer and eating on, using a diet that's working to metabolize his energy and his lifestyle. And that just energized me and made me excited. And what I'm noticing, or as you said that, was, yeah, you got to put yourself in a different position where you can be excited that you see other people succeeding. You could do that too. All you got to do is get on board, start making those changes and heading in that direction. It may not be exactly what you're going to be doing, exactly what they're doing, but you want to create your lifestyle around what is good for you. And that's what I do with the ladies and clients that work with me is like, let's create your lifestyle. I don't tell them to do any specific things other than follow what their results are from their diagnostic labs and then tune into the diet that's right for them based on food sensitivities. But like, what do you want to do that's comfortable for you? Everybody has to decide that, but following somebody who can get excited, who has certainty and conviction, that's the
Yes.
way to get through to all of this. You got to get excited. You're right. I didn't really think about that before.
And I love that how you're able to do that with your patients and your clients
Mhm.
when you're saying, let's go ahead and find something that excites you. We're going to follow the protocols. We're going to follow that, but let's also do something that you want to do. And it's something that while we give ourselves the opportunity, and I've been hearing and I've been using this word recently, when we give ourselves the grace to
Mhm.
be able to dream about what we want for our bodies, what we want for our lives, what we want to go ahead and do, something that we previously didn't think that we could do, but we think, wow, that is a possibility. And if we really think about it, it's not a far off possibility, right?
No,
I-
no,
it-
you just
it-
have to kind
and
of
I
push
think,
through the fear and implement it, and when you do that, then there's all of a sudden there's less fear, and
mhm,
that's what I've been working with my mentor on too, is just pushing forward to the next level and doing the action steps. Then all of a sudden it's more exciting than scary, and you're actually getting that, progress. And it's the same with diet and lifestyle changes. If you, yeah, like you say, you got to get out. I mean, people are amazed that I could actually get in a car and go on a drive and have a road trip, and I do it by myself. And yet I find it exhilarating and adventure. All of the stress drops away. I'm outside, I'm running around at rest stops, I'm going hiking, I'm getting out in the sunlight and I'm exploring. And it just lights me up inside and makes me feel like, yeah, I'm living this lifestyle of adventure and I'm outside exploring. And while I'm doing that, my body keeps changing and keeps adjusting to what I'm doing, and it just gets healthier. So you have to actually grow your brain as you grow and change your body.
yes. And you just said something that really struck a chord with me. You said something along the lines of people are surprised that you are taking these road trips, you're taking these hikes. What was the surprise? Is it because of your age? Was it because of your prior size? Where is the surprise coming
I think mostly they are stuck in routine of not realizing they can do things, that they can actually plan something. Maybe if there is not an excitement to do that. I mean, I get excited. I can plan a road trip 18 months out and implement it and start getting excited about it. And that pulls an oxytocin and makes me feel amazing. So even when you plan something, you can get excited about getting to that spot and then implement it, and then you're growing your brain the whole time. You're creating a hippocampus that's stronger. When your brain works better, you're able to then push through the fear and get excited and implement everything, and then all of a sudden it's happening. And it's the same with diet and lifestyle. You just got to get out there and push through and do it. But I think people are just stuck in fear and don't realize they need to get out. And so the first place to start would just be get outside and ground and get morning sunlight. Energize your body. Start letting your body realize that you can make changes, and you just got to increase the energy level and then boost your brain. So when you boost your brain, you're able to step outside of that comfort level and actually get excited about making changes.
And that's really what I wanted to ask about it, because at the end of the day, sometimes surprises, I'm amazed that you do that. I'm surprised that you do that. It's really an indication of what they're feeling. And
Right. Their
sometimes
fear.
they try to, yes, they try to attach it to something about you, but it really is something about them.
I mean, I just signed up for a hike that I'm doing tomorrow, and I signed up a few days ago, and I got so excited. All of a sudden, there was this 14-mile hike in the area called Fraser Park up in the mountains I've never explored, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I gotta do this. I'm gonna do it." And so a 14-mile hike to me is exciting, but for other people, it's, like, scary. But, I mean, start where you are, you're not where I'm at. Back when I was still 225 pounds, I had asthma. I
Yes.
couldn't walk that far. I didn't have the breath. I didn't have the muscle tone that I have now. I mean, I've been building up my muscles. I've been getting out on walks, getting out on hikes. I've been reducing the inflammation in my body, but I've been all along, I didn't think that I couldn't do it. I just put myself in that experience and I just kept at it. Before I started a low carb diet fully, I actually had planned a trip down to Phantom Ranch at the South Rim of the Grand Canyon and walk 10 miles down to the river. I had excruciating knee pain. I did not have yet healed my pain. I didn't even realize that I had that much knee pain until I walked down at that angle. And so that's when you really know your knees don't work. And so by the time I got back up and I changed into keto, I would go back to the Grand Canyon about every year, every 2 years, and I'd hike down to halfway down to like what they call Indian Gardens, which is about 5 miles down. And then I started to feel what my body was like, and I started to notice that I had less and less pain as the time went on. And so now it's kind of like my anchor, my soul place is to go there and to see how my body is developing and how my body has changed and how strong I've become, only because I've kept at it, built it, and kept going, but I've never let go of the excitement. And I never really realized that that's what I was using as my drive, because all of a sudden I could walk 24 miles across the Grand Canyon, and I never would have thought I could do that 10 years ago. Never would have even occurred to me. It would have, a lot of people, if you go to the Grand Canyon and you stand at the top of the rim, there's only about 1% of the people that will go down into the Grand Canyon who even think that they could do it. And people will look down and like, oh my God, that looks so far. That looks so hard. And yet that's like, why, how can you get excited to think that maybe you can actually build your body up to do that?
That's amazing. It reminds me of an experience that I went through recently. I was actually at a talk earlier this year, and he's a motivational speaker, and he's also an endurance athlete. His name is Alvaro Nunez. And one of the things that he does is that he's done several Ironman races. He's done Ultraman races. He's done one of the Ultraman races that he did was several marathons across 5 different days over the span of the Sahara Desert. And I was always in awe of what he was able to accomplish. But one of the things that he said is that he had learned from yet another motivational speaker was the idea of the 12-hour walk. I don't know if you've heard
I
about
was just studying that. I'm like, I got to pick a day to go do a 12-hour walk.
it. Is absolutely amazing. So I was sitting there listening to that, and he mentioned it, and it got me excited. And it goes back to that word that you said. It was so interesting because I said to myself, I will do a 12-hour. And
We should pick the same day and do it.
I've already done it, but I would be happy to because I loved it. I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And it was so funny because there were moments, the excitement was there in the moment the decision was made, right?
Mhm.
But then I was also thinking there were also moments right before. And I think that this is where the whole determination item comes into play because there were moments that I was like thinking, oh, maybe today is not the right day to do it. Or maybe this weekend is not the right day to do it. And it's funny because those thoughts keep creeping in. And so my wife, God love her, and I love her for this because she like told me, she goes, okay, are you going to go ahead and do it this weekend? And she said, are you going to do it this Saturday? And I'm like, oh, well, but I was like thinking maybe because I have stuff to do around the house. And she's like, do you really have something to do around the house? Do you have anything that's stopping you from doing your 12-hour walk this Saturday?
Oh
You
my
talked
gosh,
about it.
you're a great mentor just in the house.
I know, I love it. And the moment that she said it, I started asking myself, no, I don't have anything that's stopping me today or that's stopping me from doing it this time. And she goes, okay, well then if you don't have anything that's stopping you from doing it, then go ahead and put it on your calendar. And as soon as she told me that, I did. And I woke up that morning. She woke up with me. She's like, do you have everything ready? Remember, because the idea of a 12-hour walk is that you're completely disconnected. You have no headphones. You're not listening to an audiobook. You're not listening to music. It's only about you and yourself.
Mhm.
And I wanted to go ahead and do for my 12-hour walk. I just wanted to walk as far as I could. I didn't want to have to be thinking about, oh, I'm at the 6-hour mark. Now I need to go ahead and turn around. I just wanted to walk as far as I could. And I live in Miami. So I wanted to see how far I could get in Miami. And we set it up that she could go ahead and track me on my phone so that eventually, as I was getting closer to the end of the time, she would be able to go ahead and pick me up.
Oh, that is super cool. I love that process.
It was amazing that she was wanted to go ahead and do that because she did not want to interrupt my process. She wanted to keep it true to that. And I love her for it. And I'm very grateful for that. But it was such a beautiful experience and I highly recommend it. And I ended up walking. It was about over 22 miles that I did in 12 hours. And it reminds me, as you're saying, it's like you walked 24 miles across the Grand Canyon, but it's a beautiful experience that initially the decision was caused by excitement, but we need to maintain that excitement. And if we don't maintain that excitement, what ends up happening is that all these little thoughts start creeping in. Oh, I can do it tomorrow. Oh, maybe today is not the right day or tomorrow is not the right day. But I love how we're even like persisting that and keeping that with your platform and with your environment that what can we find exciting today? What is something that we can be excited about for tomorrow or for the next day? And you make process and the journey, if you will, exciting.
I like to plan a hike at least once a week because I get out in nature and release the stress, but it's just something to look forward to and makes me feel good. And then in between all of that is just trying to get out on a weekend. Like I just got back from Santa Cruz up to see Big Basin redwoods, and all the trees had been burnt down in 2020, but they're growing back. It was so exciting to see all the trees growing back. It was a bright, sunny day. I was so excited. There was lilac everywhere. I mean, those days like that, those are you got to plan them in because you get so excited. You got to put yourself in a new environment. And you, like I said, you grow your brain. You know, you don't want to shrink your brain. You want to grow your brain. You got to put yourself in those environments. And so I've just planned another trip to go out and see my mom. And she's 2 days away in Wyoming from California. And so, of course, it's like, okay, I could go hike at Zion. Maybe I should stop off at Bryce because I'll be off the I-15. And I'm like, I don't just drive straight there. I'm like, where can I hike? Where can I get out in nature and just, bring the oxygen into my body, keep myself, in that health adventure where I'm supporting my body so that I'm building my muscles. And so that's what I get excited about. And like, I haven't done a full marathon, but I do half marathons. And so I get excited about the ones that are near national parks because I could then get out and have that environment that I love. And so I have one planned for Smoky Mountain National Park. And it's just like, my daughter's in Kentucky. I can go visit her. My friend's just moving there. I'm visiting her. There's businesses and associates and a mastermind practitioners that I want to set up time with. And so it's like, this is life that you're living. How can you make it your best life and really look at this as your life is supporting you? And that you got to put yourself fully in there and get excited about everything. And that's, what I try to keep myself focused on.
I love that message. This is life that you're living, and how can we make it our best life so that life is supporting you?
Mm-hmm.
Love that. It's always something, it's always a message that's so simple that we seem to forget. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just making sure, you're getting up and getting movement too to support your body throughout the day. Those are some things that we can think about, and we could actually make habits so that we could just like build a habit on top of a habit so that we could keep ourselves active. But it becomes easier like if you have an obesity problem, you really do have to look at reducing insulin resistance and resetting your metabolism. Maybe it's not forever that you have to do this, but it is a big jump start. And then you can kind of see where your body's at. And so the more I have done that, the more energy I have, the more I can fidget, the more I can move. I mean, lately it's like I used to love to just sit down and read for hours, but I just, I'm standing up, I'm running around the garden, I'm cutting flowers, I'm checking things out, I'm going for a walk. It's not even 7 yet. And I got up at 5:30. And so it's like, it's like I didn't want to just
We
sit,
appreciate that you did.
move around, And so my goal, my big scary goal is to get a B-class RV, get out into nature. It's my mobile office. I can work, step outside on the ground and get out for walks and just feel like stress-free and know that this is what I'm doing to support my lifestyle and the adventure that I want to live as my life. That's why my business is called Lori Balue Aging Adventurously. And I didn't even realize it as I was putting that together. I just been using that. And I'm like, well, feels like what I'm doing. It seems to be the right direction.
I love that. A friend of mine actually did that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's a former boxer, a former Olympic boxer, or an Olympic hopeful, excuse me. And he's now a motivational speaker. He really has his platform around going back to school. And he travels the country in a little camper, and he visits schools and he talks to inner city kids to stay in school. And he has this vision. He created his platform off about health, and it's about vitality. And he used to be the vegan boxer, and he still lives a vegan lifestyle. But I love this about the ability to be nomadic. And I love how you even said my big scary goal, because life isn't worth living if we don't have that big scary goal, something that really scares us that we want.
Well,
Because
you have to have something that's a goal that can be scary to strive for. And diet and lifestyle could be the same way. Do you want to lose 100 pounds? You have to change what you're doing because what you've been doing is not working. And if you continue to do the same thing, you're going to get the same result. So what if you can actually make the goal, get excited and visualize how you can look and feel. Throw out the fat clothes in your closet. And then you have to make the changes. Do you want to wear those smaller clothes in your closet? Look at them, touch them, put them on. I mean, I like to say every week is try to put on a smaller outfit. Like one of my clients, she had a pair of pants that she couldn't even get up over her hips. All of a sudden, she's got them on and they don't fit anymore. They're too loose. And so you want to look at your clothes. You want to touch them. You want to feel it. You want to be able to visualize where you're going with your life so that you can get there. And so I think all of that is just super powerful. And one of the things that sent me back to school to relearn to be a functional nutrition practitioner is because I got excited. I was reading all the books. I was re-educating myself. I'd been re-educating myself since I started my lifestyle journey at 225 pounds. I walked in one day, my husband asked me, when am I going to lose the weight? Well, right then and there, I started hitting the books. I started paying attention. I would lose weight, but then I'd gain it back. I'd lose it, I'd gain it back. I never ditched the depression, never ditched the allergies or the asthma until I actually understood why we get fat. And then why we get fat is because your insulin levels are turned on too high. You need to turn them off. And so now I call that flipping the sugar switch. So I did that, went low carb, and got my brain turned back on. If you can turn your brain back on by what you're eating, by the food you're giving your body, your brain will work again. You got to ditch the brain fog. When you ditch the brain fog, you get more energy. And when you have more energy, all of a sudden you can actually visualize what you want to do. And so, you might need your handheld initially to implement a low carb diet so that you could get beyond the pain and the fear of what you're doing so that you can implement it quickly and correctly so that your brain can turn back on. And then that's the switch where you can actually start visualizing and creating the lifestyle that you want to have and never give up. But just never give up. You just got to get excited, jump into something, go with the inspiration and go with that desire and just get away from the fear. Leave the fear behind. You got to be a step ahead of the fear.
I think it's beautiful how you use even the term brain fog, because I think what ends up happening is that some people don't realize that they have a brain fog until they don't.
Yeah, exactly. Because people are like, oh my God, I feel better than I've ever felt in my whole life. I have so much energy and I'm just seeing the smile on their face. And then they use the word confident. They use the word, and they basically feel in control of your body. Who doesn't want to feel in control of your body? Who wants to be a slave to the insulin switch, which says you have to go out and get this food and put it in your body and you don't have any choice in the matter, because if you don't, you'll just feel miserable and you'll have this pressure to go eat something. But what if you could turn that off and control your cravings and your hunger by eating the right food for your body? That's what's powerful.
Yes. And I think that's an excellent segue to this next question that I want to ask you. It's like, what strategies do you feel or have you been able to employ with for yourself and also for your clients to help build resilience and stay determined during those tough times?
So for myself, I just never let go of the goal, the resilience. And I think the women who come to work with me, they already have been visualizing their goal and they know they want it. And so they've seen that I have lived experience. I've gone through this. I had one client come to me. She's just turning 50. She goes, I need somebody to guide me who's lost the weight in her 50s, who's been there, who's had that lived experience. And they're holding on to that. So when they reach and hold on to that, that gives them a pull in the direction they want to go so that they can get the results they're looking for. And so I'm not even sure if I'm answering your question correctly, but is it the resilience? It's just, you really need to just kind of write it down, jump in, know that the person you're working with is going to give you what you're looking for and help guide you. And so the way I support my clients is I give them information. We find their hidden healing opportunities and their weight loss blocks by running 6 diagnostic functional labs. When we get that information, they can lock into that and like, this is what I need to do. These are the foods I need to avoid. It's more customized, more personalized. And then all of a sudden, they're able to just like use, like if you were drowning and you needed to hold onto a rope, this kind of pulls you up and out. And it helps you feel more resilient because you're feeling stronger and more in control. You have more control. Maybe that's what it is. You have control of the direction your life is going. And that brings in confidence. And all of a sudden, there's no brain fog. You have more energy. I mean, I've worked with a client that had so much pain, 95% of pain every day, or 100% of pain, but now it's 95% less in 4 months. And she's 24 pounds down, 4 months, and her life is back. Health, freedom, and retirement because she's just retired. Now she can go do what she wants to do. But can you imagine turning off the pain in your body? That's why I like to use this phrase. But you have to actually, I did a lot of reading. My mom taught me how to read, so I held on to that. And like if these people are doing it and this is the information, I'm going to hold on to that. And then I was holding on to what Dave Asprey was doing, the Bulletproof Diet and the Bulletproof Conference. And I'm like, I'm following all these people. They're doing something that's working for them. And so I kept holding on to that. I kept getting excited. But when you can actually pull yourself up and out and hold on to that and be resilient, not to let go, not let go. Just keep doing it. Never give up until you reach that goal. And then all of a sudden, you're there, and all of a sudden you could see the next one. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out this one. I'm going to do this next. And then you're going to create your whole body and your whole lifestyle. It doesn't have to happen on the very first day, but you just want to step out. And that's why you could collapse time when you work with a mentor, when you work with someone who has the direction you need to go. Because why struggle like I did for 25 years if you could get it done in a year?
It's true. I love how you bring back education and bringing back working with mentors and bringing back working with coaches. So the truth of the matter is, why struggle for so long when you can go ahead and condense their journey into such a smaller time frame that would work for you? It's like, why reinvent the wheel that's already been proven to work?
Yeah. So, I mean, don't stand in front of your closet, wake up every morning and I'm like, oh, I need to drop 20 pounds. What am I going to do? Well, I can help people lose 20 pounds in 4 months or less.
And then tomorrow you're going to say the same thing unless you actually make the decision to change. And
Yeah, so don't think about the food that I'm not going to be able to eat. Think about all the opportunities that you're going to have in life as you recreate the lifestyle you want to have. Food doesn't matter in the long run. You're going to eat to live. You could eat food that makes you happy. You can make and bake anything keto. You can do what you want and use those food bridges. Don't be afraid that I can't eat that bowl of pasta. I can't have that Danish or that coffee or that dessert you want to eat. The problem is your body, it has an insulin switch. And if it's turned on, you will crave those same foods. The bacteria in your gut are Firmicutes bacteria. They're your fat bacteria. If you feed them, feed the candida, they want you to go get that food and eat it. What you have to do is change your bacteria. When you stop eating that food, you change your bacteria to skinny bacteria, and then they work for you to help you be lean. And so that's the whole process with food too, is you've got to support your gut health. And so all of this together, that's why people will do keto and say it didn't work for me. Well, did you do it, as a diet, or did you do it as a lifestyle? And what changes are you making holistically and functionally to actually change your body, not just lose weight? Make your body healthy to lose the weight naturally. And you got to get excited about it. When my clients that are working with me, if I send them, resources, they're like, oh, what book is that? Oh, what book is that? I helped my brother. He was my first client. He had diabetes. He was over 300 pounds. And to this day, I send him podcasts. And he sends me podcasts now. And he's like all excited still because that's how I trained him to think and react. Get the information, get excited, try this, do this. Well, he lost his diabetes. He's no longer diabetic. He's off all medication. He doesn't have any symptoms. So yes, I can work with men. If you don't want to have diabetes, I can help you. I have a year-long program that will help you. What's really cool about this is that he's at his goal weight. He's now walking 5 to 10 miles a day, and he's increased his lifespan by 10 to 20 more years as a man in his early 60s when people are dropping dead left and right. I mean, you really got to think about, what do you want? Do you want to live, and do you want quality of life? And looking at it as a health adventure is a hobby, but that's your life that you get to create. You get to recreate the body you want to live in. And it is possible because I've done it. You've done it. People are doing it. You just have to hold the hand of somebody who's done it so that you could get up out of the fear, feel resilient, and have a roadmap in front of you and a direction to go and to know what your healing opportunities are.
Absolutely. And I love how you even said it. You have to hold the hand of somebody who's been there. And I think that we shouldn't be afraid to hold somebody's hand. We shouldn't be afraid to be able to ask for that help. And I think that that's beautiful. And I really think that I know the answer to this last and final question that I want to ask you, but I want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and present it. You've talked about people being able to lose weight, and they're losing large amounts of weight, losing over 100 pounds. And that's, to some people, they think about that's an outrageous goal. That's a huge goal. So when we're thinking about goal setting and how goal setting can actually foster determination, in your expertise and in your background and what you've been able to employ, what do you think the best practices are for setting achievable goals?
So you always want to start with, you want to set an action plan every week and attain one action plan, and that builds confidence. And then you celebrate your wins every time you do that. And so initially, it's about losing the initial water weight and getting yourself to be a fat burner. And so when that happens, it can be anywhere from 5 to 12 pounds of water weight that you can drop, but that puts you into a fat burner. So you want to just you just want to get started, and then you work towards being a fat burner and drop that water weight. And then, it could be 2 pounds a month. It could be the fact that depending on what you want to do. So the first goal could be maybe 20 pounds. And a lot of the times, what I'll look at women, if they're, a lot of the women that come to me are over 200 pounds. And so let's make that goal 20 pounds. And then all of a sudden, if there's one woman that's 9 pounds away from 199 pounds. And so I always like to put that vision in there. I said, you are 9 pounds away from 199 pounds. You can do this. And I'm going to help you build those action plans to get you there. So it's visualizing each step along the way, pulling out the clothes that are smaller, trying them on each week, watching your body change so that you could actually see that, the non-scale victories, not just the scale weight. The more you do things like that and build those actions, all of a sudden your weight's coming down. Sometimes people can drop 40 to 50 pounds quickly. Other times you just need to get your body healthy to lose weight, and it's going to take longer. You might need to be healthier before you can drop a more weight. But then at the same time, if you do 100% implementation of my holistic low carb method, you're going to get the results. Not everybody wants to do it. And if you're going to invest in yourself, you want to look at, you are investing, not creating an expense. It's an investment in living a quality life longer, recreating the body you want so you can have happiness and joy and peace of mind. This is an investment, not an expense. Medical system that's broken is an expense. An investment in your life is what you get to do because you're going on a spa vacation. You're getting on a health adventure experience. You get to live your life and get your smile back. My client told me, she goes, all my shoes are too big. I'm like, that's cool. You get to go shopping for new shoes. And another client she said, oh my God, I think I'm in trouble. I have to go shopping. Like she's never been as low as she is now since she got married. And so none of her clothes, and even I had to last year, I had to replace all my clothes because everything was too big. It's, those are the things that you want to build action upon action, 2 pounds at a time. It doesn't go straight down. You're going to have plateaus and it's going to go down incrementally. But the thing is, the goal is not to ever gain the weight back. You don't want to ever have to do this again. So you want to build on top of each plateau and reset your metabolism, set that weight point, and then let it drop again hormonally. This is not a diet where you're just going to starve yourself and the weight gains back. This is about permanent weight loss. And it's step by step and that's why you need your cheerleader, your mentor to let you know you're doing this. These are the wins. What wins? I check in with my clients. What is your wins this week? What's going well? And if there's not weight loss, let's look at your environment. What else is going well? You've got great energy. You're up from 4 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And before you used to have to, you could barely walk because you have 90, you had 100% pain in your body. And now that's gone. 4 months, that pain was gone. And I had somebody else who was following this program and 50 pounds, lost her arthritis, knee pain all went away in 6 months.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so you just keep doing it and get excited. That's what I do. I've got the conviction. I've got the excitement. I've got the certainty. I've got the program and a process that works. And so when you in this, you get that. You get what you want.
And it's the celebration of the wins. That's really what I love about this last item of setting achievable goals. It's because sometimes we, as human beings, no matter what that challenge is, no matter what endeavor we want to go ahead and journey on, whether it be weight loss, whether it be starting a new business, whether it be just living life more fully, it's being able to really celebrate those wins. And I love how you were able to even say this client of yours who's 9 pounds away from 200 pounds of weight loss. You've been able to help her celebrate the process throughout the journey.
She just bought 2 dresses for a wedding and she's excited. And so I'm like, it's not about losing the next 6 pounds. Let's figure out how you can lose 9 pounds. So what do you want to do to kind of make that action happen more? There's certain steps you can do to make fat burning faster, but it kind of depends on your stress level and it depends on what you're doing in life because that's going to go up and down. And so those are the things you want to just kind of build into. But I've been building a celebration garden ever since I started the Adapt Functional Health Coaching Program, and I bought a Palo Verde tree that's over 5 years old now, and it's in full bloom. It's buzzing with bees. It's yellow. It's gorgeous. It makes my heart happy. So every time I get a success, I'll plant something. So I'm almost out of space, but
That's beautiful. And it really is that. And I want to just go ahead and summarize it just a little bit because the idea behind it is that we often forget to go ahead and look back and give ourselves the grace to say, look how far I've accomplished. Because we're so focused on where we need to get to, we don't take the moment to stop to go ahead and look back and say, look where I was. And even how you even mentioned that other clients or your clients, when sometimes they reach plateaus, oh, I didn't lose weight today. I didn't lose weight this week rather. But you change it, you change that, you reframe it for them. You tell them, think about the fact that you have been up from 4 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night and the energy that you have. Or think about the fact that before you were at 95, 100% pain, and now you are at 5% pain, if any. And the fact that you're able to move that, that's a reason for celebration. And think back to where it was that you were experiencing that pain. When you look back and you give yourself the grace to say, wow, I was able to achieve it. And I want to go ahead and celebrate myself today. I want to celebrate what I've been able to go ahead and achieve. I think that's the beauty. And I think that's where it leads to how we can go ahead and want to further reach our goals. We want to go ahead, and that's truly where determination brings it into play, because there are just those tools that we can go ahead and implement it. And I like to call those my key takeaways, which I gathered from you. It's what are those tools? And those tools are the excitement. Think about this as an adventure. Think about your journey as an adventure. Be able to celebrate those wins, how to make life yours, how to make life be one to work for you as opposed to you working for your life. That investment in your life, the investment in you versus the expense the expense of medicine. And they're amazing nuggets when we actually take the time to think about that because they're so true. And we as human beings forget that.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, that's what I've been doing. I've been investing in education and I was working on my weight loss at the same time, but my brain was working so I can re-educate myself, keep myself busy, keep myself excited while I was waiting for the weight loss, and then learning about what the next step was to actually get that weight loss. Because I dropped 20 pounds right away and I stalled for 3 years. People will say keto doesn't work. Well, what did I need to do to make my body healthy? I just had to learn that. And eventually I did. I got super excited, figured out what I needed to do for my gut health. And then all of a sudden I dropped another 15 pounds. But if you just quit because you're stalled, you have to understand that you're getting cardiometabolic results as well. If you're on a diet that's working to reduce inflammation in your body, you just got to get excited and figure out what the next step is. Keep investing in you. Figure out how you can make your body the best body you can live with. Because this is not just about a diet. This is about your longevity. How can you get yourself to live into your hundreds, triple digits? It's about living life and enjoying it and watching your great grandkids grow up.
Amazing. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Lori. I very much appreciate your time. Thank you so much for your insights. And I've really enjoyed this episode because at the end of the day, we can go ahead and take even something so easy as thinking about how we can go ahead and be excited and attach it to any goal that we can go ahead and use, that we can go ahead and want to achieve, and think about it as a journey of life because we are living this one life. You gave that example. We're investing in ourselves. We're investing in our lives. We're investing in who we are. And I think that's beautiful. So thank you again. And Lori, I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity. If our audience members want to go ahead and learn more about you, more about your program, more about your platforms, can you go ahead and let them know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Lori Balue. That's Balue. And I have a really good YouTube station that's been growing because it's women over 50 is my niche. because that's my age and that's what I did. I lost the weight in my 50s. And so this is really powering to other women in 50. So I have the holistic low carb weight loss for women over 50 on YouTube. So that's my station. So it's Lori Balue weight loss still, I believe is the direction to get there. But come and listen to my videos and get inspired. I have my viral video about just my life, and it's spoken to so many women. So you can find me there and get inspired. And if you would like to work with me, just let me know. Just DM me, and my email is loribalue@gmail.com. And let's get on a call and find out what it is that you want to do to recreate your life that you want to live.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And to our audience members, as always, we very much appreciate your tuning in. We couldn't do what we do without you. And I love all of the messages. I love your feedback when you go ahead and tell us what it is that you want to learn more about, what it is that you enjoy about our episodes, what it is that you enjoy about our posts, because we do what it is we do for you. You feed us, and we love everything that you send our way. So thank you so much. For our new listeners, please like and share this episode. We very much appreciate Lori and her insights. And once again, Lori, thank you so much.
You're
And
welcome.
from my heart to yours, a warm embrace.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us by liking and subscribing to our channel. Your small gesture means the world to us and helps us continue creating more content like this. See you in the next video.